Alrighty. I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. Oh man. Oh, it's time to get going. So today, I started to do this a little bit already, and I decided, you know what, some people might find this interesting. So we'll stream for a little bit here this afternoon, and basically, I have a really old project here, and I'll just run this one. Show you what it looks like here. So it's basically this is the server that you would request your song information. So right now it's essentially looking through a single folder. I have one folder in the list that it's going to look through. It knows there's 18,000 songs in here. And what it does is it's supposed to, you can use it to get the Spotify data, which is, all that does is it gets the descriptors of the song, so the energy and the valence and the beats per minute, all that kind of information from Spotify when it matches up the song. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to, this is done in WinForms, and this is done in, I want to say 2016, something like that. And I think I just want to redo it with some of the newer technology that's out, and just play around with it, upgrade it a little bit. So I have the old project here as a reference, so that I can, when I'm in the new project here, which has all my new folders and everything all set up. So we've got our client and we have our server. And in the server, we are doing a WPF application right now. And you can see we have a lot of bad code, a lot of red stuff in here. A lot of this is like the main form has function calls. That's the way WinForms would do stuff, which we're going to have to work on. So what I'm just doing is I'm going through all of these errors and library configuration folders. Count. And I'm just going through and trying to update everything. What the heck? Why don't we do this? Why don't we just make this a list of strings? There we go. Alright. Anyway, so what we do is, this does, it looks like we were doing XML. It's been a long time since I worked on this, so I'm kind of relearning what I did before to make this work. I did have a working Android app many years ago, but it's been a while. My tablet's gone. I don't have my tablet anymore, so I can't actually do development on an actual hard device. So when I get to that point, I'm going to have to use an emulator until I can afford to get an actual development thing. I have a Mac that I could use to do the iOS development. I'm just not sure how far I want to go yet. I might just work on like a PC version thing right now just to make sure I can get it working, and then I will make like certain parts of the code portable, make a library that I can share between all of the other stuff, lots of interfaces and whatnot. We'll see how it goes as we get on in here, but let's continue working our way through all these errors. And so like when I find this stuff, okay, so this is going through, okay, so this is generating a new song ID. So in the song info, I have an ID. No, I do not. So I have to go into my song info, public int, we'll make this an unsigned int, song ID, internal ID of song. Alright. There we go. There we go. Do I really need an unsigned integer? Yeah, we'll make it unsigned integer, just because. Okay, song ID counter. Where's this? Oh. Alright. There we go. Okay, we got our update song count, and we have our message. Okay, we will work on the functions later. This is if we're null, we're not doing the fancy stuff anymore. This is song info is my new class name. Here we don't have this. Song info, we don't have the songs property. What is this? Rebuild entire database. Okay, that's old code. Alright. Collect audio features. Okay. Okay. I have to go and find this. So I have a Spotify API in here. So what is this? This is how we get our code and all the information from it. So you know what? We're just going to copy this for now. Which one am I on? Right here. Okay, and we're going to make a new class in here. So here's my API. I want to add a new class called Spotify API. And we're just going to paste that puppy in there. What kind of errors do we got? We want this. JSON. Track info object. You know what? We're going to come to that one later. We're just going to make sure we have all of our references in here. IO. Alright. We'll deal with the other little ones later on. Alright. Okay, track feature collection. Now, okay, so this is no longer needed. So all of these things, actually, you know what? This is okay, this is the class that was built from the response by the of the track when I ask Spotify. I might need to actually use these. I will actually definitely need to use these. Okay. Okay, so this is called track info object. So we're gonna put this in the API. Track info object.cs. Go in here, and we're gonna copy the other property in here. And this is called track features with a S. Track features. Paste this. And we need to do this. And no other errors in that one. That one's good. This one is good. Okay. API. Okay, we're good there. It's getting better, getting better. Okay, so here is a song info. We don't need the songs anymore. Okay, so now we have the track info. Okay, so the song info also has to have the a Spotify ID in it. Song ID, public int. Actually, what is that? And we have a song. It is a string. Spotify ID. ID of song from Spotify. Okay, there we go, that worked right away. Here's some red, so this is song info. Like that, we don't need that. Song info, don't need the songs. We need threading. And there's an update for the WinForms. WinForms. This is user configuration. Server config. Okay, so min tempo server configuration. Okay, so the server configuration has these values in it. So the way that it worked before, actually I'll show you what it looks like before. So when you run your server, and I have what's called a nimble list. And a nimble list is basically, let's say you really like Metallica Enter Sandman, like you love that song and it's the only song you listen to. However, you want to listen to songs like it. The nimble list lets you create a playlist from your library that is similar from the Spotify descriptors of that song, and it will give you all of the songs in your library that are within some range. And now that range is in this configuration. So I have a tempo variance of 15 beats per minute and an energy variance of 22%, right? So you can change this amount, and so whenever you create or look up a nimble list by from a song or whatever, it will give you what all the songs that match, but these are the parameters that the server actually uses. So so I need to add those into the user configuration, because those are going to be what the server is basically referencing when it comes to that. So I have some stuff in here just for password hashes and stuff, just to verify some things. Simple. So we want a public, let's go actually look at how we were storing that information. So we have integers was what they were before. Alright, so public int. Okay, so now we have a track features thing, right? So these are all of the actual features that they give us, right? I don't really want to keep them. The song info itself has a Spotify descriptors in here. So I already have this class. So let's actually just make a reference in here for it. So user configuration, we'll just go like this, and we'll say Spotify descriptors. Can I use that? It's a string right now. So yeah, we'll use these as we'll store its own configuration as the descriptors, so we're not duplicating code. And what we'll do is we'll call this nimble list parameters. We'll call it that. Alright, so I'm going to come in here. I want nimble list parameters, and I should be able to go BPM. Okay, so now I need to make these integers now. For this energy, I'm assuming that these were like, are they all integers? Yeah, alright. We'll just make them integers. Alright. I was sure that some of these are floats, but integer, sure. Alright. And then we want nimble list. And then this one is the, yeah, come on, BPM. Okay, so then we have the nimble list parameters, and I want energy. energy. Okay, we'll just do that for now. And we will continue on down the line. Alright, so this is the Spotify ID. So the Nimble list. So we're adding a playlist based on the Spotify ID and the track ID. So the Nimble list is different now. So what did I do to it? I said we have the ID of the we'll make this the song ID, genre, and we have the descriptors. So this is going to be the song descriptors. We're going to dump it into this Nimble list so that every time we refresh it, it just pulls it from its own configuration from the playlist. So let's go back into our REST server. Okay, so so Spotify descriptors is going to be is this. Okay, so the feature list is I don't want a feature list. So get similar song. You know what? We're just gonna go like this for now. We're gonna comment this part out because I have to rework this anyways. And we're gonna add a to do because I already have another Nimble list thing that I have marked off as to do. Rework from Nimble list changes, and we're going to return a new list. We'll actually go like this. Return new this. Sure. At least, and then it doesn't break the function for now. Alright, so my Spotify stats. Okay, so this is doing a server configuration location. So I want my config location list of strings. So this is the list of folders. Alright, so that is now in library configuration folders is my list of folders. Song info, we don't need the songs anymore, and this is library configuration folders. Library configuration folders, and more update stuff for the GUI. Okay, what's this? Song info does not contain a album art. Okay, so we need an album art in the song info. So let's do public string album art. Album artwork. Now, if I remember correctly, it's storing the image in like base 64 or something like that. RESTful. Song count. Okay, so this is the old one. A string is 0. Okay, and then, oh, I wasn't even doing it. Yeah, I wasn't adding the song data into it. Actually, if I kind of remember the, because it was like a base 64 conversion of the data that I could store in the database without special characters and stuff, I think it was a it was just increasing the file size too much. So we'll Not really used. File size. Huge? Question mark. Alright. For future me. Okay, so song info is the song to play. We're gonna find that song. Okay. Up to the top. Alright, so we've gotten rid of pretty much all of the little junky things. What's this one? We'll just start working through some of this stuff. Okay, I know that's not gonna work. Mine types does not exist. Using Nancy. There we go. Okay, that's okay. These are okay because I know we don't have... Okay, that's it. So we've got the first three functions that I was going to call when I start up my server. And then we have our... all of these errors are the functions that were called in WinForms to update UI elements. So we're going to have to implement all this stuff. So we're going to close all but this. And we're going to open up our main window and our CS. So, so basically what we need to do is attach these to properties. So when we create our REST server, we are doing a reference to the main window, which is the view model. So why don't we do something different here? Let's make a we're gonna go and rip off some code again from another project if I can find it. You know what, I'll just do it here. Over here. Alright, so we want the clients, public, assist, models, view model base. Alright, so here's my view model base. And what I want to do is I want to go add new class view model base. Okay. Like this. And okay, this is going to go away because we don't want to actually use this. We want add a folder called view models, and we're going to add a new class, and we're going to call this main window view model. Okay, make this public, and it's going to inherit, come on, from view model base. All right. You need definitions, bro? Oh, it's not the it's because it's being converted from WinForms. So it's got lots of stuff that is not done. I'm just working on converting it over. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our main window have a view model, and rather than passing the reference of the window, I'm just going to pass the view model because that will give us access to all of the properties of the view model. So we are going to come back into here, and we're going to make this bigger because it's really annoying. There we go. So now what we need to do, we're going to say this window DataContext. So we are in, we're going to call this XML namespace VMs equal to view models. Like that. So now when this is instantiated, it's not going to build right now because it doesn't actually work. Yes, it does. See if it maybe it'll just do it. No, it won't. Of course not. Alright, we're gonna have to go through and comment out all of these lines. And everywhere that we do this in the future, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to update the properties. So we'll go through each one at a later time. I just needed to build right now so that I can ooh, I missed one somehow. Oh, missed a couple. And that one. Alright. So if I build this, there we go. Alright, so now we have our reference to our view model. So rather than loading this now, this is, so when you create a new WinForms app, or WPF app, it creates your main window and it creates the CS file that is the code behind for it. And I don't like putting anything in the code behind. I like making a view model for it so that I can, you know, really have it separated from everything else. So in here, we can close this. We don't need this anymore. So what we need to do is look at the what does it actually look like. So let's pull up this one here. So this is the old one. So we have a menu bar. So we're gonna have to add a menu bar, and then we've got a status bar, a song counter, some details, and a send to tray thing. So what we'll do is we will recreate that in here. Like that. Alright. So what we want to do is we're going to split this, and our first operation is going to be splitting up our window. So our window basically is going to have one section at the top, which is our menu, and then we're going to have second row, third row, fourth row, and maybe a fifth row. So we're going to have 5 rows we got to add in here. So we're going to go grid, row definitions. I'm going to make a row definition. We're going to just give them, we'll just say 30 pixels for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. And actually the last one, we'll make it fill the rest. So, let's make this so we can actually see what's going on a little bit. So what we do is after our row definitions, we're going to just start shoving stuff in here. So we're going to make a menu item. The header is going to be database. Menu item header is options, right? So there's our menu. This is going to be grid row 0. And then our next one is going to be a stack panel. Stack panel. Orientation is horizontal. And this is on grid row 1. And this is going to be a text block. And we're just going to put song count 1000. Alright, let's put that in there for now. And then we've got our status, and you know what, we're gonna shove the status on the bottom. So in order to make that look nice, we're gonna change this, like that. So now this middle, second to last row fills, and the bottom one is where we're gonna put our status. So let's do a status bar, and this is grid row 5, like that. Status bar item, content is status. Alright, we'll just put that in there for now. And then I want a status bar item. We're going to do a progress bar. Style is, not style yet. We'll just do this. Value is 100. Sure. I have no idea. Min value. You gotta remember how all these things work in here. Width is gonna be 500. 50. Height is gonna be 30. There we go. Now we got a status bar. Okay, so that's where we're gonna have it. Let's set this to like 300. And we'll actually make this 25. 20? Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Okay, so there is that. We have our song count. We got our status bar is at the bottom, and we have the tracks identified. Let's do another one here. Status bar item. This is gonna be content is Spotify. All right. And I want a text block in here. Tracks identified 0 of 1000. Maybe not. Oh, it's not. You can't do that. Okay. There we go. We'll make it look like that. Okay. What else? Okay, then we have our send to tray, which we'll deal with that later. It's got minimize and stuff on here right now. We'll deal with that part later. Okay, so we have so we're gonna need a song count, and then track information, and then we've got our progress bar stuff. So we're gonna have a public, we're gonna go int track count, and this is gonna be underscore, and then we're gonna go public track count get. I'm gonna send track. Oh my god, really? Track count set. Oh, you know what? Get track count set. If value is equal to track count, return. Otherwise, what's the project about? Oh, this is a it's like a audio library management plus a person. Okay, here's the backstory. Back in 2014, 2015, 2016, something like that, there was a program called Audio Galaxy that was bought by some company like AOL, or I can't remember, some Microsoft maybe. Someone bought it, and it let you do stream your own library from your computer and have playlists and all that kind of stuff. And I used to use it all the time, and then I got an iPhone because it was the latest and greatest thing, and my Android phone was getting kind of old, so I got an iPhone to give it a shot and see what all the hype was about. And I stopped using it. While I was using the iPhone, Audio Galaxy got bought and shut down completely. So when I did go back and I got a Samsung Galaxy S5 or 3 or something like that, Audio Galaxy didn't exist anymore, and I couldn't listen to my music. And I had my iPhone still, and I hated it. I hated the playlists. The Genius thing I did not like it back then. It's probably a lot better now. I have an iPhone right now, and it's okay, but I wanna get an Android again. However, I found it really tedious to make playlists, and you'd have to synchronize it all the time. So I made this program to make playlists basically instantaneously, constantly updated, based on parameters. And the problem was is that I had no way to describe a song programmatically, and the only way that I could get that kind of data was Spotify. And Spotify was fairly new at the time. It wasn't really as popular. It was big, but it wasn't as popular as it is now. But the database that they have for songs is really impressive. I would actually be really interested to find out where they get their song descriptors from, like all of this stuff. This feature list, so danceability, the energy, the key of the song, the loudness, the mode of the song, speechiness, acousticness, the instrumentalness, liveness, valence, tempo. All of these descriptions of the song are analyzed, I'm assuming by some server software. When they add the song, it listens digitally to the song, and then, yeah. No. That's not what this is for. Sidify, no, it doesn't. It's not what I'm talking about. I don't want to get the songs. I have my own songs. I've got like, I don't know, I have more music than I could listen to in my lifetime on my computer. Like my metal folder itself is like 18,000 tracks. I have no problems with the music. It's listening to the music the way I want to. There's no software that I found that will do this. And I don't like the hassle of synchronizing playlists and stuff. Like, first of all, I can't listen to my entire library on any device. It's impossible. And if I want to use Spotify, I have to create a playlist. I don't want to have to create a playlist. That means I gotta add every single stupid song to the playlist. I don't want to do that. My system, Nimblelist, worked awesome. What it did is you would choose a song, and it would create a song playlist based on the song you selected, and from your entire library, and it would just send you the list. And then you could, customize the parameters on how tightly you want to have the songs match and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to improve upon it. The first one did not take genre into consideration, so it would be different genres of music, which, I mean, it could be one thing that you might want. But yeah, it was just easy. I mean, I would just load a song, generate a playlist, and it was instantly made, and I could stream it anywhere in the world. I was on vacation and listening to my music from like halfway across Canada. So yeah, it's just, it's that. It's like a shortcut for songs, kind of. Think of it like, if you're aware of the way Genius works, Genius Playlists, it will actually analyze your entire library, and it takes forever and a day. I'm basically using stuff that's already been generated, like Genius would, and then from Spotify that actually has that data, and I don't have to wait for it. Yeah, it saves time, and so like Genius, the playlist, it should automatically know what your songs are. Just by analyzing them, but it takes forever and a day to do that. So I just want to get rid of that whole thing by using what's already been done. Yeah, and Spotify is the only open source way of getting that data. Apple does not make that information available. I'm not sure exactly how they store it. I never delved into the way iTunes works. But yeah. It's just, I mean, even if no one else uses this, it's what I would use, because if I'm going to be out mowing the lawn for 45 minutes, I don't want to have to make a playlist before I go. I'd like to just open my app, find a song I like, generate a playlist, and play it, and then put it in my pocket, put on my headphones, and go mow the lawn for 45 minutes, and then it just shuffles through the tracks, right? That's just, it's so much faster, in my eyes, anyways. Okay, so what did we have? We had we got the track list. We have our current status. So we want a string current status, public string current status, get current status, set if current status. Did I do value equals? Yeah, let's make this right. The value. And YouTube just said, are you still there? Yes, I am still here. Stop doing that. Can you imagine listening to your own library without that stupid YouTube thing? Are you still there? Anyways. Return. Current status equals value, and then notify property change name of current status. Okay, and then we have, so we got current status, and then we have the tracks identified with Spotify. Okay, this is going to be different. String tracks identified current. Like Netflix does. Yeah, exactly the same thing. I think was it Netflix or Amazon? No, I'm pretty sure it was Netflix that my parents said they were watching. They were trying to binge watch The Good Place, and they got like 6 episodes in or something, and then it suggested they take a break. That's pretty good. Get tracks identified current. Alright. Okay, so we have the current track, and we're gonna make one of these for total. Alright, and we're just going to replace all of these with the total. And then we're going to copy this again, and we're going to go tracks identified bad. And this is going to be an integer. Actually, these should all be integers. I'll go and change that in a sec. Alright, so bad. Okay, so these are all integers, not strings. We're going to make a public property that generates the string. Current status can stay there. Yep. Okay. So now our next step is our public descriptor. So we're going to do region public accessors for UI string formatting. We're going to do this. Okay, so we have a string. This is a Spotify track status. And in fact, you know what? We don't need... Yeah, we'll leave it in there just in case. But public string Spotify track status. I'm just thinking we don't need, if we're not going to actually access them directly, but we are, because we have to set values from the REST server and stuff like that. So track status, if Spotify track status is a value, return Spotify track status is going to be Spotify. Let's do a string format. Ooh, hello, come on, format. And we're gonna do a Spotify. Let's just go in here. That's not what I wanted to do. Copy this. Oops. Alright, so this is my tracks identified with Spotify. I want current, total, bad. So I want total. Oh, sorry. Current, total, status. Come on. Bad. There we go. And we're gonna go like that. Alright, so when we go into here, we're going to work our way up from the top. So we're going to do main form. Alright. So when we do this, first off, we are not passing in this, we are going main window view model. Alright. Okay. And then this is this. Okay. So now I want to do status message is going to be current status is going to be this. Alright. Current status is equal to this. So you see what we're doing, we're going through, we'll go to the next one here. So the old way WinForms did it is you would pass in a reference to the form to this new class so that we could reference or access the functions within that form. In this, we're passing a reference to the view model and just setting text values or values to properties in it, and then every time the UI refreshes, it notifies that the property changed and it retrieves, the UI goes, oh, I have to get the new value and display it. So I'm not actually telling it to do it, I'm just setting properties, and the UI thread is handling all of the refreshing for me. I don't have to deal with any of that stuff. So current status is equal to this. Next one. There's going to be quite a few of these. Current come on. Status is equal to this. And you know what we'll do? We'll go current status equals. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to just replace all of these at once. Like that. Oh, there's another one, so we'll just go like this. I could probably just replace it all, but then I have to go through anyway, so might as well hammer our way through this. Okay, update song count. This is different. Okay. So this is song track count is equal to this. Okay, and then this one is the same. Like that. Update song count, so track count is equal to this. And then we do this. Update the status. We don't need, these are all commented. Oh, there we go. Update Spotify status. Okay, so this is going to be a little different. Okay, so we need to do okay, you know what? I'm going to comment that out. I'm going to comment the Spotify out because that's going to be a little different. When I bind the values, I have to bind it to this track status. If I set a property here, I don't really want to deal with the total and stuff like that. I'll probably have to update the track status inside of this. In fact, we'll just replace this, this, and this. Okay, so we'll just update the track status, and then the it'll retrieve it. All right, and then we will go yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Okay, so basically we do I don't want to do this per se. I need to copy good, song total, and bad. So I need to go main form tracks identified current is equal to good. Main form tracks identified total is going to be total, song total. Main form tracks identified bad is bad. Right? So now we're updating each individual one, and it's going to update all the values, right, as we go. It should work. And we will delete this one. Commented out. Status message. We still got it on here? Nope. Alright. We'll do this again. Current status equals. Delete this. This. Update song count is 0. So total track count equals 0, like that. Okay, that's all of the commenting ones. Okay, let's build this puppy and see what it looks like. Oh, I gotta bind everything. Alright, so this, we're gonna go get rid of the text, and it's just gonna be this, and we're gonna go, text is binding, and I want, track count, string format is gonna be, song count 0, like that. Okay, now this one here, oh. You know what? This is not going to work. I need a all I need is I don't need a status bar. What I need is a grid that's on the grid row 5. And we'll just set a grid style setter. Property is color Style, target type is a grid. Yeah, try that. Background value. Let's do the light gray. There we go. All right. So there's our light gray border or background for the grid. Now this grid column definitions is going to be column definition width is going to be 30%. 1, 2, ooh, come on, don't do this to me now. One, 2, 3. So we're gonna have 3 equal space windows here. And then so in each one, I'm gonna have a stack panel, grid, ooh, come on, grid column is 0. And this is gonna be a text block. And we're gonna go text is binding, track count, string format is song. No, this isn't track count. This is current status. You know what? We'll not format it. We'll just leave it like that. Alright? Okay, so then we go a stack panel. Grid. Cannot type grid today. Column is 1. I'll set these. Actually, I'll do it now. Orientation is horizontal. Orientation is horizontal. And I want a progress bar. And I want let's go ahead and make a progress bar one in here. So my progress bar current status, let's do int progress bar value, and I want a public int progress bar value. And what we'll do is we will set this to it's the current stat, but it is the percentage of the total. So I want to do if tracks, ooh, hello. Oh, get progress bar set. If the progress, no, not the progress bar. I want if the tracks identified total is equal to 0, return. Okay, so if it's 0, if we have no songs, no progress bar, return 0. Progress bar value equals 0. You know what? We're gonna have to do it like this. Notify property change, name of progress bar. Ooh, come on, progress bar value. Cannot type at all today. Okay. Otherwise, so if we have more than 0, we're going to do when we want the value, the percent integer value of the percentage. So we're going to take the progress bar value is going to be math floor, and I want to do the tracks current divided by tracks total. And this, what? Okay, whatever. I need to do this plus tracks identified bad. Oh my god, I cannot type at all today. What is going on? So it doesn't like these. It has to be a decimal or a double. Why don't we just go this? Oh, I'm forgetting a bracket in here. Okay, so then after this we go notify property changed, name of, and this is progress bar value. Come on, value. All right. So in here, progress bar value is the binding of progress bar value. And then this one is a stack panel, orientation is horizontal, grid column is 2, and this is going to be a text block. Text is binding of Spotify track status. Now this I haven't done anything with yet, so we're just gonna leave it like that. Alright. So to really test this, we're gonna have to actually start this stupid thing. Or we could just do some fuzzy data here. Alright, so we'll just do a region. And let's collapse these. So this is going to be, what the hell? Region. This is going to be called the main window properties. Properties. All the way down here. And region. And we come all the way up to the top, collapse it, enter. Alright. So now we're all done that. So now we're going to do a public main window view model. So when we instantiate this, what we're going to do is we're going to try and make a new REST server. So we're going to go REST server, host is, we're going to go server is a new REST server, and I want to pass in this. Alright. REST server, I want server. So we're just going to say server is this. And then we're going to go server start. Yeah, I know. Okay. Okay, so when we load the server, problem is that the configuration doesn't exist. So if file exists config.xml, I want to do where is it? Save configuration. Oh, I bet you that's on the other window. Yeah, it's got to be in here. This one? Question mark? No. Okay, well here's the design. So if I right click and go view code. Alright, so here is my save settings. So this is the way I was saving it before, right? Do I really want to use XML? I could get away with JSON. The database, on the other hand, probably would work. Nah, you know what? Text is text, right? And JSON's got a pretty good way of serializing and deserializing stuff. Alright. What we're gonna do is we're gonna say let us we'll think about that later. Give me 1 sec here to go and open folder. Ooh, what's this? So this is what the configuration file looks like. It's basically just an XML document, and it's got the port and a list of folders. That's what the old one looks like. So, I don't know. Let's do like okay, so we can't really just copy it because it's totally different now. So we're just gonna have to make a new one. If it doesn't exist, we're gonna go user configuration is a new user configuration, and we're gonna go port is gonna be, I don't know, what did I use? Was it 5700 or something? Yeah, that one there. Port is that. Username is going to be Cardal. Oops, it's got to be a string. Okay. Nimble list parameters is a new empty thing. And the library configuration is a new like that. So there's our config. And why don't we do this? And then we go return, because we've got our new thing, and that should work. Okay. So, ooh, Jesus. Okay, so that doesn't really work. let's go ahead and fix this here. So we need to fix this window because this doesn't really work the way I want it to. Let's make this one like 80%, 60, and 1, 2. We'll say that. All right. So now does the text cut off? No. It's closer, but not exactly what I wanted. But anyways, okay, so my menus don't do anything like they did in the old one. I guess the only thing to do now is to try and at least get the songs, right? So when we first start it, we're gonna go server. Oh, I guess we should make, let's add our commands in here. Because I need my this is so unorganized, this thing. Relay, where is the relay command? Commands, relay command. Alright, so here's a relay command. And we will go like this. We'll go, we're gonna make a folder. Where are we at? Folder. Commands. We're gonna make a new class called RelayCommand. And we go like this. And we go like that. Good. Alright, so now I want to find references. Right here. So I'm just going to copy this. Okay, so in my main window view model, I'm going to make a region commands and region. I'm going to paste this in here. Alright, so now reference our commands in here. And this is going to be called refresh song list. Or, no, get new songs. Get new songs. This, and then this one is going to be the actual REST server. I want to go get okay, so what does the get new song one do? No, not that one. Check for new songs. New code. Check for new songs. Rebuild entire database is what it calls. Okay. Am I in the right one? No. That was close. Rebuild entire database. Alright. Like that. So now what this should do is we will bind this. We're going to make a, here's a menu item. And then we're going to go a menu item inside. And the header of this is going to be called check for new songs. Command is binding get new songs. So in here So I'm here, if I go here and I go check for new songs, it's not going to call anything because I don't have a breakpoint. Alright, so it works. Okay. So now the fun part is going to be the options window, and I'm going to have to rebuild that. But we will do that in a bit. For now, I'm going to do I want server config. I'll save it later. I'm just not going to do that right now. Server config, library configuration, folders, add, and I want let's find a folder that is alternative. Let's go to alternative music here. Something that doesn't have a lot of stuff in it. Disturbed. 567 files. Let's do that. So do this. Alright. Oh, what's your error? Oh, at. Okay. Check for new songs. Song count 66. Oh, there's probably like a different file in there, but okay. So my question now, I want to open this folder, bind debug song database. I'm impressed. Okay. That was pretty easy. Okay, so I need to system IO file write all. Oh, wait a minute. I need to do this. This is an XML file, isn't it? We'll use XML. Where's the save? No, that's form. I want the configuration one. This one? There we are. Save settings. So my serializer does this. Like that. And then I go here. Nope, not here. I go back into the real program and I go like this. It's already in use. Okay, that goes away. Oops. Okay, let's not return now. What we'll do is, oh yeah, we'll return. We'll just do it this way. You know what? We won't do that. No, screw that. We'll make this easier on ourselves, right? I want server config. We'll just write the server config and then return, and we don't have to reread it. So, oh, there goes YouTube again. Yes, I'm still here. Alright, so that means I've been up for almost an hour and a half. It's getting there. It's almost 3 o'clock too. Okay, so in this folder, okay, and if I open folder, find debug, config, edit, enable list property parameters. Okay, so saving all that stuff. The port on my folder list is all being saved. That's good. I like it. All right. So, next step. Let's add a option in here. Menu item. Header is get Spotify data. Okay, and then I want a separator, and then I want a menu item. Header is going to be, what was the other stuff in there? Cleanup database, wipe database, and Spotify stats. Sure. Clean up database, .. Menu item. Header is wipe database, .. Separator. Menu item, and this is what was it? Spotify stats? Yeah. Header is Spotify stats. Okay. Options is the one that pops open the configuration editor, which is where we're gonna add folders and change all the settings. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Yeah. I think it's good. I think it's a good starting point. We have, so here's what I should be able to do. I should be able to run this. If I come into my API, my REST server, and I do, song list, right? So if I come into here, I want 57, what the heck was the port number now? Uh, 57934. 934. Alright. So this is what it gives me. Alright. So this is the base 64 encoded version of my playlist, or every song that I have. Right, and so when I would read this, so how does this actually, where's my REST server get? What's it actually doing? DB version, song list. Yeah, so it's a base 64 string. It's compressing it and then sending the base 64. So when I do my app, I have to convert it back from base 64 to a byte and then unzip it. So let's go ahead and do this for now. Let's try something like that. Return S. So this would be a string. Okay, so this is just going to be purely a JSON string at this point. So we'll let this run. Okay, so it's running. Okay, and then we're going to refresh this, and it should just, yeah. So this is like the disturbed folder. It's got the path information, the track ID, and album art is 0, the artist, the title, the album, the genre, and no Spotify descriptors because I haven't actually built any of that stuff yet. Yeah. So I mean, I think the reason why I was compressing it was when I was doing the album art, and I was just kind of trying to reduce the amount of data. Like if you, let's say you have you make a Nimble playlist, and there's like 30,000 tracks with album art, you would want to compress that to send so that when it gets it, it would decompress it, and then you don't have to transfer as much, and it won't take as long to load. With 30,000 tracks with album art, it would still probably take a little while, but yeah. So I did have kind of compression involved in here. So, I mean, that's essentially how the program works. So basically what I would do is I could do yeah, let me do something really amazing here. We'll pause this. So now let's say we want to listen to Stupefy. No, let's go voices. So this is song ID 64. So if I go /play 64, it should start streaming it. Maybe not. By ID, SongDB, where the song ID. Oh, that's different. Where what is it returning? Yeah. Song ID. That's right. So my song ID is 64. So I go down to 64. Okay, you know what? We're gonna do this. Song ID be select. No, where song ID is equal to ID, first or default, and that's that. That should be it. Okay, so there. So now it lets me download it. So, why doesn't it just play it in the thing? What is the difference? I need to go back to, let's stop this. When I do play Nimble list ID, song list play ID, response thing is this. Response attachment file. This request session, can I determine if it is a, like what kind it is? Request, body client certificate files, form headers, method path, protocol version, queries, string, URL, host address. I'm gonna have to look that up and see how I can determine if it's a browser. Determine if HTTP request is browser. There's no way to know with certainty if a request came from a browser or something else making a HTTP request. One can attempt to determine if the thing on the other hand is a browser by executing JavaScript and measuring the outcome. However, some bots can execute JavaScript. Well-behaved bots identify themselves using a user agent specific to them. This is in 2012. Alright. I think what I need to do is set the MIME type for now. MIME type is the file path. File path. Nope. Okay, well, I guess that's not it's not gonna happen. Let's go back into here. Let's just check something really quickly. We're gonna see if the status updates when I do this. Client requested disturbed voices. Okay, so that part is working. It's just not. It just doesn't play it through a browser for some reason. It's sending it as a file attachment, and yeah. Response. Let's try this. Turn response. I just want to try this. I want to try and see if this works. For now. Yep. It's being used by another process. Okay, so that's interesting. So if I refresh the page, it crashes because it's being used already. Alright, so let's try this again here. Oh, the browser automatically reloaded. So, I mean, it works. It's the attachment thing that wasn't working. But that probably works with the app. And when I do the web application side of it, I have to use this. And then that way I can actually load this window. I select it and I just load the iframe with this URL. And it should just automatically load this little in-browser control. Will you listen to me? I want to talk about suffocation now. All right, good song. All right, so yeah, I think we made a big stride today. I actually couldn't find this code. I accidentally deleted it off of my repos, and then my GitLab didn't actually have it backed up. It had the solution, and I must have been doing. It's when I switched from GitHub to GitLab because of the whole GitHub thing that was a few years ago. Yeah, and I was backing up all my repos, and I guess it just decided not to do that one. So I had to dig through my old hard drives, and I actually found a backup that I did from like 2 or 3 years ago when I built this machine, and it had it on there. So luckily I got that. So now I'm gonna have to set up a repo for it. Yeah, so it should be good. But anyways, I think I'm gonna take off for the night. I might come back a little bit later on and play some games or something like that, but we'll see. It probably won't be until like tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions or whatever, if you're watching this after the stream, just go ahead, leave a comment down below, and I'll try and answer your questions as I can get to them. Talk to you later.